So how do we verify that people are who they say they are online before they share information that we have seen? I'm going to teach you how to do it just with your phone and with a little bit of Googling. So I've inputted BBC journalist into Twitter just to see what comes up. And you can see that there's tons of people that crop up that have BBC journalist in their bio at some point. But there's this particular lady that stood out to me called Libby Sutcliffe, because all she's saying is that she's a senior BBC journalist. She's not giving that much more information. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's not who she says she is. It just means we have to dig a little bit deeper. So let's look at when she joined. She joined in February 2009, so not a recent count. And if we scroll down, the things that she's tweeted about have to do with the UK, Kent, which is a part of the UK, coronavirus, so obviously covering the latest things that are happening. So, okay, pretty strong indication that this lady is a journalist, that she works or has a connection to Kent. Let's dig a little bit deeper. So one thing we can do is take her photograph, her profile image, save it to our camera rolls, and go and do a reverse image search. So if we go to TinEye and upload that photo, let's see if it can find it anywhere else on the internet. So it's found it only in 2 places, and they're both on Twitter, so that's not necessarily that helpful. But it also doesn't mean anything. It might mean that this is the only place this lady has used this photo. So if we go to just Google and type in Libby Sutcliffe BBC, it's first of all correcting me because I misspelled it, and then suggesting that there is a Libby Sutcliffe that works at BBC Radio Kent. Starts to sound familiar, right? It found her Twitter account and some other places where she's listed. So definitely someone called Libby Sutcliffe works at the BBC in the Radio Kent department. How can we triple check for sure though? So because if we look at her LinkedIn account, she doesn't have a profile photo, but she does have this thing that says slavery free. Can you guys see it? And that was on her Twitter account. On the back of her Twitter account. It's part of her cover. So maybe she is the same person. Where can we go, though, to find people's faces? Facebook, anyone? And type in Libby Sutcliffe, BBC Radio Kent, because I know where she works now. The second result is from 2015 of a reporter called Libby Sutcliffe doing a vox pop in Kent, which means that she's asking people's questions and you can see her face. Does this lady look like this other lady on Twitter? Yeah, actually, kind of. So I think we're pretty certain that Libby Sutcliffe is a journalist. She works for the BBC, and that's how you can very quickly verify, particularly journalists online, because there will be places where you can search for their information. And the same goes for scientists, or professors, or researchers, or academics, or think tanks. There are always clues that you can Google to check. People tend to exist on different parts of the internet, and it's all about knowing where to look before you pass that information on.